So when you have meetings with your team, be they one-to-ones or team meetings, you tell Powerful, these are the meetings I want you to analyze, and these are the people I want you to analyze with, and then you seek their consent to make sure that they're comfortable with that. And then Powerfoil sort of leaps into action and analyzes those conversations for you. And then using our proprietarily tuned AI model, Powerfoil captures those conversations and then shares with you a report, almost like a retro or a report out, within about 5 minutes of every single conversation that you have with your team. And so you can look at that report, you can get it via email, you can get it via Slack. You can also go and look at your dashboard and see how you're doing. You get way more detail that way. So you can see, like, here are some choices, here's some advice for what you might be able to do differently as a result of what Powerfoil has observed. So it may say, hey, listen, in this moment, like I was in a conversation recently where Powerfoil observed that maybe I was being a little bit defensive about some feedback. I'm very passionate about Powerfoil, so it's possible that I am, but I wasn't aware of it at the time. So I was like, And so I got the feedback from Powerfoil, and I actually cut paste the feedback and forwarded it onto the person who I was in a meeting with. And I said, hey, listen, really sorry if I came across as a tool defensive in that meeting, but it looks like I might have been. And I just want you to know, like, I'm really passionate about the thing we're building. And so I'm really grateful for the feedback. Thanks for letting me know. And that was a moment where he immediately replied and was like, well, yeah, of course you should be passionate, and you weren't being defensive. I mean, I may have been defensive, but he was being kind. And so that was a moment where we got to build the relationship a little bit more, because he saw that I was invested in my own growth, and I was introduced to the idea that maybe I was a little bit more defensive than I was planning on being. And so that's kind of how Powerful works. It observes how you lead and then gives you advice for how you can lead better in the minute to minute, in the day to day, rather than having to go and do that in a training course or some other way.
Absolutely. Now, one of the no, I hear you say evaluate my conversation and let me know how I perform. I can use this software in many applications. To be honest with you, I can use it with a conversation with my wife. I can use it with I see a lot of improvement happening after the use of this application. But internally, like if you're having a over the phone conversation, or I'm assuming it's dedicated to like video conferencing, or I want to say similar application like Zoom or any of the other video teams and that kind of thing. Is that what it's dedicated for? Or
Powerfoil at the moment runs on your desktop, so it works across Teams, Zoom, WebEx, Google Meet, any of those platforms, FaceTime. So if you have anything that involves your desktop machine, whether it's video or audio, it doesn't matter. Powerfoil will analyze it when you want it to analyze it, and you can stop, delete all of the contents. You have full control over it. Mm-hmm. We have a mobile app we're working on right now, and so early in the new year, we will have we will have access to that mobile app. So you can literally in person put the app down on the desk in the meeting room, and you can hit the red button, and Powerfoil will analyze that conversation for you as well. So we're working towards more and more in-person uses. But yeah, to begin with, it's just been much easier to insert ourselves into the digital layer. In the future, people are starting to use things like pendants and, devices that they wear on them. People have got, smart sunglasses and those kinds of things now. I don't know how those things will play out in terms of the hardware devices and how they work. But if that becomes something that people use frequently, and we can make sure that there's a good consent layer in there for everybody to be able to handle how their data is used, then Powerfoil will be in those contexts as well, just to make it easier for you to analyze more of your leadership.